Let's jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a totally fascinating and honestly kinda hidden piece of history, the Muslim clans and lineages of eastern Sri Lanka. We're going to see how global seafarers, scholars, and travelers adopted an ancient female-led clan system and somehow managed to survive centuries of massive change across the Indian Ocean. It's a wild ride, so let's get into it.
So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the Eastern Sri Lankan Muslims. Then, we'll meet the very first saints of Kosukkuttankudi, explore the incredible healers of Malabar, trace the lineages of the North, sail with the powerful Marikars, and finally wrap it all up by unpacking their unique cultural synthesis.
Section 1. Eastern Sri Lankan Muslims and their completely unique cultural blend.
Okay, so at the absolute heart of this cultural blend is a concept called the Kudi. Basically, it's a matrilocal clan system. I want you to imagine a society where your ancestry, your heritage, and your entire social identity are passed down completely through your mother's bloodline. This distinctive practice governs their entire social structure. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Section 2. Kosukkuttankudi and the First Saints.
Our story kicks off way back in the late 15th century. Picture this, a Middle Eastern traveler named Kosapa and a Tamil scholar named Karyappa arrive in a place called Samanturai. These guys made such a huge spiritual impact on the community that hundreds of years later, in the 1950s, the local Grand Mosque, the Periyapalli, was historically reconstructed just to honor them. That's some serious legacy.
But here is where the matrilineal history truly takes root. Traveling with these scholars was a little 6-year-old girl named Kulthum, whom the locals affectionately called Nalama. From that single young girl, who eventually grew up and married locally, the entire foundational bedrock of the Kosukkuttankudi clan was born. Literally, a whole clan originating from one brave little traveler.
Section 3. The Healers of Malabar and their medical legacy.
Fast forward to the 18th century, and we start seeing highly skilled medical scholars arriving from Kerala. One standout was Maulana Maulavi Muhammad ibn Abdullah. Get this, he was curing complex cataracts using a specialized needle, an absolute medical marvel for the time. The locals were so blown away by this that they gave him the title Kangkuti Appa, which translates to the eye-piercing father.
Now, his legacy wasn't just medical, it was botanical too. He actually brought a unique beetle vine straight from the Malabar coast and planted it. That single plant thrived so beautifully that his descendants literally became known as the Alago Vetalikudi, the beautiful beetle clan. I mean, how cool is that? A whole family line named after a thriving plant.
This same era gave rise to the Uthaman Pillai lineage, tracing back to a really powerful female ancestor named Uthamiyana, who is the sister of the saint Kalundayama. This clan absolutely exploded in influence. If you visit the East today, places like Kamunai, Saint Maruthu, Nintivor, or Samanture, you are standing in towns profoundly shaped by her descendants. They're even linked to the revered shrines in Kudis.
You'll also frequently hear the term Lavai, associated with these lineages. It actually stems from the Arabic word labay. Historically, these were the educated elites migrating from the Coromandel coast. We're talking post-7th century Islamic scholars fluent in Arabic, Urdu, and Arvi, who took charge of the community's most crucial spiritual and administrative mosque duties.
Section 4. The Vatikanakudi, or the lineages of the North.
So these northern clans introduced some really unique cultural markers. A great example is the silver asa staff they'd hold during Friday sermons. But notice the fascinating regional twist here. In Samantarai, they keep the staff perfectly vertical, but the exact same clan over in Saint Samarathu, they hold it upside down, just to distinctly identify themselves locally.
Think about a quirky tradition you might keep to remember your hometown. Well, the Vatikanakudi did this quite literally. Historical records show they would intentionally face or use the northern direction when starting any important task. It was their way of physically paying respect to their geographical roots every single day. A really beautiful homage for sure.
Section 5. The Seafaring Marikars, Masters of Maritime Trade. Now, these folks weren't just your everyday merchants. They were the absolute titans of the Indian Ocean. The term Marika translates to Marakala Ayargal, meaning ship captains. These leaders commanded massive vessels, managed vast international trade networks, negotiated huge agreements, and were basically the logistical backbone of the entire coastal economy.
And this massive trading network eventually split into distinct branches. On one hand, you had the Mepalai Maraikar Kudi, originating from Malabar Mapala Muslims, who maintained fierce trade links with Kerala. On the flip side, you had the Maraikar Nienthai Kudi. They evolved from local Eastern leaders, utilizing their immense organizational wealth to fund vital mosque administration and land grants.
But hey, their maritime skills weren't just for moving cargo, they quickly turned into serious military might. When European colonial forces showed up, the Marqueras built these fierce naval fleets. They actually fought alongside the Zamorian of Calicut against the Portuguese in India, and later brought that robust naval resistance straight to the shores of Sri Lanka.
Section 6. A unique cultural synthesis.
Now, here is where the history becomes truly mind-blowing. Over generations, basic occupational job titles, like Marikar for a ship captain or Levai for a scholar, didn't just fade away, they permanently transformed. They seamlessly shifted into hereditary, mother-led clan names and permanent mosque administrative roles. Your job literally became your family's identity. Just think about the sheer diversity we've covered today. Persian and Middle Eastern travelers, brilliant Tamil Nadu scholars, master medical practitioners from Kerala, northern Islamic preachers, and those fierce, seafaring Mapila Muslims. The Eastern Kudi system became an incredibly vibrant melting pot.
And you want to know the most impressive part? The Eastern Sri Lankan Muslims successfully integrated all these wildly diverse, global bloodlines into an ancient indigenous matrilocal system without ever compromising their core Islamic principles. It was an absolute masterpiece of cultural balancing, centuries in the making.
Which leaves us with a truly provocative question, doesn't it? How exactly does a community flawlessly weave the descendants of foreign sailors, healers, and preachers into a single, unbroken matrilocal identity that still thrives today? It's like a giant, beautiful historical puzzle.
Ultimately, the Kudi system is so much more than just a social structure. It is a living, breathing historical archive mapping out centuries of migration, unyielding faith, and survival across the Indian Ocean. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this sparks your curiosity to go out and uncover even more of these hidden histories for yourself.